average, I get about, because I don't sit down, on an average, I get about 10,000 steps a day.
Hello lovely people, it is currently Wednesday, it is after school, it's 5:20. I do want to get out of here at 5:30, but I have a few things to show you that I'm really excited about. I have been working non-stop on preparing the Google accounts, the IXL accounts, the planners, the file folders, the data, the modules, like everything that I could possibly set up myself for success. I have been doing non-stop. So the first thing that I did, I created this on Google Slides, and I'll show you the whole template in a bit, but really short, sweet, simple. I just put their username and their password, because let me tell y'all, kids are really smart with technology and like when they want to be, because they remember everybody else's passwords, like for some reason. So there was like a whole period where we had to change the passwords, but then it became too complicated and nobody remembered them. So then they went back to being simple, but then they kept getting hacked, and I was like, you know what, I don't know what's going on. So I had to redo them, not me but the district, but I had to write every single username, and y'all, I've been marking every single username, every single password. And what I'm going to do is inside of their planner, because these are actually little, we usually have like big thick planners, but these I really like because they're small. Everybody got one at the beginning of the school year, so if ever they go to, let's say, library or the computer lab, and they can work on IXL or Success Maker, they can take this instead of taking like their whole binder or like a sheet of paper that they most likely will lose. So this I do like because they do take care of it a lot more better. So I will, and I'm going to put it right here so you don't see my school's information. I'm going to just tape it to the front, and it'll look like this. And I can't really show you because it has a student information, but I also printed their IXL cards, and you guys can't see, and I'm also going to put it right underneath. Now their Google account, it takes them to Clever, and Clever pretty much takes them to everywhere else. But if they ever just want to log on to IXL really quickly without going through their Google account through Clever, at least they'll have their username and password as well. So both of them will be right here ready to go. And again, they can just take this whole agenda or planner. Some people call it agenda because I do agenda, but most people call it planner. They can just take this little planner to the computer lab or anywhere. They can take it home, you know, it's nothing, it's not heavy. So, and they're already used to like writing stuff in it from the other classes. So that's going to be interesting. Now what I also have been doing is I created, oh, and I can't show you this one because it has student information. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. I found a blank one, but I created this on Google Slides. Y'all, Google Slides is my best friend. Hold on, let me see if y'all can see that. And then I also created the back side of it to the second page. And this one is more based on like the textbooks, the Bluebonnet textbooks that we got. So I'm going to show you really quickly like what it looks like on here, but really fast, let me go ahead and show you what I plan on doing with this. So my plan is I want to take a file folder, and luckily I think I got some from my Amazon wish list like maybe a year or 2 years ago, but I had like a whole packet of 100, so I was able to have one for each student. I just did trial student because I couldn't come up with a name, but I was like, I'm being lazy. So each student will have a file folder for each class, and then on the inside it'll look like this. Now I was thinking of doing something like front and back, but then I realized it would look kind of weird when we like flipped it open. So what I decided to do is print it on 2 separate pages, so that way on the first page they have more of their important data like math growth, star, and then their like goals. And on this, the bottom page, I keep thinking bottom, on the second page is more like the Bluebonnet, so the modules, the reading tasks for Bluebonnet, and the science and social studies. So that way when I have parent conference, I can pull this out and then show them without having to like, because last year I kind of like showed them everybody's score, so, and I didn't like that because everything was like on one reading sheet because I had it, but the students never had something like this, so I felt like it was kind of impersonal for them, and they're like, well, I'm looking at everybody's scores instead of my own child's. And then I was just like, oh, look at this one, here's right here. So I like this because I can definitely use these for parent conferences. So that's what I've been doing. So I finally wrote all the names. I have one, my homeroom, this is the other class, my other 2 classes. So I'm going to be filling those in, and then these are all right here, the data that I need to put in these. So like I said, I'm still not done, but it is going. Now I also did print the copy, and again I can't show you because it has information, but I did print all the student usernames and passwords for the IXL as well as the Google Sheets. Now what we also did is we took our mid-module test, and y'all, if you're taking Bluebonnet, we on the struggle bus. I already knew from the past 3rd grade teachers and pretty much like their whole growth that these kids are on the struggle bus, like real struggle bus. They're very low. I only had 17 students meet and master. That's it. Like 17, and really more meet than anything. I only had, I think, 7 students master. So I could definitely tell why they mastered, because they're like at the top of the top, and those students did pass. So everybody who mastered the STAR test in 3rd grade did pass their mid-module 1 test. Now everybody who met or approached or did not meet, yeah, they failed. So really I actually had like 13 kids pass in the entire 4th grade. I had 58 students. We on the struggle bus, guys. Now I'm not discouraged, because I know the first thing I'm going to do in the morning is I'm going to grab my high tier kids, because they only missed like 1 or 2 questions. I'm going to grab them straight in the morning. I'm like, okay, look, this is what you missed, real fast, making sure you understand, right? Boom, out the way. Then I'm going to group them by their grade. So all of my 70s, I'm going to group them. All of my 60s, I'm going to group them. My 50s, I'm going to group them. And then my 0 to like 20s, I just know they don't have the foundational skills for math, and that's why they're so low. They don't even know how to compare. So how do you expect them to compare an expanded number with a 10 thousands? Like, they don't know that. They don't even know place value. So I'm going to also pair my lowest kids and then just kind of teach them again the foundational skills, so it can just build them up, because like there's no point in me trying to like review this with them, because all they're gonna hear from me is wah 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 wah. That's all. Like, they have to go back to 1st grade, 2nd grade, even maybe like kinder level. That's kind of bad to say, but that's where they are. That's where they are. That's the truth, y'all. So yes, the numbers are bad. Again, I only had like 15 pass. The only thing I will say about this Bluebonnet is I love it, and I also hate it because again, the scores are low, and it's making me like a little like, oh my god, I'm low. It's a repeat of last year. But I like it because out of 11 questions, and again, you can only miss 3 and you fail, so I mean, but out of 11 questions, only 2 of them were multiple choice. So it forces the students to actually think. It actually forces the students to like, you know, oh my god, like I can't just like make my way into like A, B, C, D, you know, like there's no, you have to actually think. You actually have to put in the work. Now I will say this, even though I told them show your work, even though I told them, you know, do this and you know how to add, and we know we did this with practice, me teaching. Did they show their work? No. Now I wanted to do that first because I wanted to see who did it and who did not. But the next time we take our mid-module test, I'm not going to accept it without work being shown. You can bet your butt. If you don't have your work shown, I'm not gonna accept it. Absolutely not. Now I know for my like higher kids, like my more gifted, talented kids who always make 90s and above, they might be an exception because I know like in their brain they're kind of thinking about it. But if you're making like 40s and 30s and 50s and 60s, yeah, you got to show your work because you're just kind of being lazy then and you don't want to show your work. So I digress. I'm going to work on that, but I kind of wanted to like let them turn it in without me saying anything because I wanted to see like who were the ones that showed their work, who were the ones that didn't, and now I know what I need to work on. So this was like a good real eye-opener, like, oh my god, I really need to get with them. Now really quickly though, I am excited though for the next topics because, or lessons I shall say, because lessons 11 through 19 or 20 are all about addition and subtraction. Now the addition I feel really confident on. They're really good with addition. We did like a little pre-test there at the beginning, like the first week of school. Their subtraction with normal numbers, it's okay. When they have to do like with zeros or like multiple regrouping, that's when it becomes a bit of a hassle. Also we do have like word problems mixed in there, and then we have like strip diagrams for the last lesson, and then they'll take their module 1 full task, and so it's going to combine what they did here and then their new topics. And my goal is everybody at least increases 20 points. For the ones that got like a 70, maybe you'll make a 90. For the ones that got a 90, shoot for 100, right? So at least 20 points. If you got a 0, because I had like 3 students make a 0, at least I want like a 30, 40, 50%. You know, like I don't want to go from 0 to 100 because I know that's not realistic. So we're going to do our best. We're going to keep going, but I want to be truthful to y'all. We on the struggle bus. We on the struggle bus. They're very low. I already knew that coming in. The whole 3rd grade team was like, Ms. Blanco, you have your work cut out for you. They don't know their numbers. They don't know their sounds. They don't know how to read. And y'all, they don't know how to read. I had one, I was working with the kid, and one of the words was like 1,000 miles. She didn't know how to say miles. I think she said mile. Like I'm like, not even in Spanish it was correct, because mile in Spanish is like mil. I have no idea. So and another word was that, like THAT, that. She said like tot. So I mean, I don't know. So I mean, at this point I can only do the best I can, but I mean, she gets some of it, but it's a lot to work with. Like a 4th grader doesn't know how to read mile and that, so that's kind of my problem right now. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I did the iExcel, the Google, the math test. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on my Google Slides real fast, because I gotta go home now. Really quickly, I have my agenda objectives closing ready, and you guys saw that I put in more books from the library, so I got more for dear time. So this is what it looks like. So our name goes here. I am going to put their map growth result, and then they're going to put in what they got for BOY, for reading, and they are doing science because they want to see from 4th grade to 5th grade growth. What they got for STAR 3rd grade, and then when we take our STAR interim, probably in November or December, they'll put in that result. Same thing for reading. Now for math growth, they want to grow 20 points for their RIT score. For STAR, let's say they did not meet, I want them to approach. If they got approach, I want them to meet or masters. I want them to master, and masters, I want to stay masters. So benchmarks are for the module test. So it should be something like, I want to gradually get better as I take more tests, and we'll talk about it. Same thing, name up there. So tomorrow, for example, they'll write like module 1 mid task, and then they'll put their score. So I'll show them how to do everything. I'm going to explain these two to my partner teachers in case they want to do it, because yes, I could just do math, but I also want them to show like how they're doing in reading and science and social studies for any test that they do. So I'm going to talk to my partner teachers, because I kind of created this without their knowledge, because they kind of know that I'm doing stuff like this, so they're not too surprised. All right, guys, so be prepared for terrible grades. Oh my god. So I just replaced all the students' names. So this one is my actual data right here. I just made this for you guys. But guys, look at these scores. Oh my goodness. So we have 191, 82, and I did put them for the conditional formatting so they can be color coded. The percentage, so I got 25% that passed in my homeroom, And then I had 30% that passed in my second class, and then 12% passed in my third class. This is the one with 17 students, so we got a lot of work to do. Now, I will say I am happy that we do have some oranges, because oranges is 60 to 70% or 69%. So, I mean, I can work with that. I just, the red really is scaring me, because we have some really low scores, like 0, 18, 18. I think I saw 9 right here, 36. So, I don't know. It just kind of questions like everything that I've done. I'm like, did I even teach right? Like, I've gone through the book. Like, I literally have the book right in front of me, the teacher's edition, and I'm reading it every day. And I'm looking at how they teach, and it's like, I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, look at what the modules did. I literally taught them exactly how what's in the book, and then with the time spent and the value disc. And so I know I'm just doing the best that I can. I just hope that the kids can do the best that they can, and hopefully they can learn. I mean, look at this, y'all. If y'all were to look at this, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Look at this. Look how, so basically it basically said that turns to that. How does this turn to that? Because you're multiplying times 10. That's what that means. And then they want like them to, like, this makes more sense to me, but that's how they want us to teach it basically. Like, they want us to teach it both ways, but this was like the main way that they wanted us to do it. Like, this was like the alternative way. But I mean, look at this one. Look at this one. Look, y'all. Oh, you can't even see. Look at this one. Look how many dots that is. Like, that's what we did. They literally, and then it's scripted too. So they literally did it just like this, and the kids were so sick of it. They're like, Ms. Blanco, how many dots we gotta do? I'm like, 40. We gotta do 40. So it's been wild, y'all. It's truly been wild. But I'm gonna go home. I will see y'all tomorrow. I am just going to update you on how my PLC went, because everything is good. Like, again, I can't show you, but this is my data folder. And right now on the first page, I know you can't see, we have my accommodations, and then we have the data, so how many students met, approach, and did not meet, and then I wrote all of my approached kids. And then on this page, I did, hold on. I did all of my did not meet, my masters, my meet, so I know exactly who got what. And then on this, I did my tier, so my tier 1s are my masters and my meets, my tier 2s are my approach, my tier 3s are my did not meet. And then this is their math growth, and then I also put like their RIT score. So my highest got 228, and then my lowest got 151. So we're in the go. I had 23 kids get 200 plus, so that's actually pretty good, because I tell them at the beginning of 4th grade you should get 200, and then by the end of the 4th grade you should get like 220, 230. And I did have tier 2. Tier 2 was 199 and to 190, so 190 to 109. And then my tier 3 is 150, or like the lowest basically, to 189. So I'm going to show this to my principal and the instructional coach tomorrow, so that is ready to go. And then I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Hello, lovely people. Anybody want some fruit snacks? I got plenty. Like the Little Mermaid song here. But it is Friday. It's the end of the day. I'm about to go home after I do some data and enjoy my weekend. But y'all, this week was just filled with small groups, data, more data, PLCs, which by the way, in the air came back on. But overall, it was pretty good. We took our test, like I said, on Wednesday. The results were not so good, but I do have high hopes that if I keep working with them in small groups and just really emphasizing like just the rounding and the expanded notation, because expanded notation, honestly, if it was just a test on expanded notation, I'm pretty sure 80% of them would pass. Even like expanded form, they know, but they don't remember like to separate with the value and the digit. But expanded notation, they got, like, out of all the lessons 1 through 10, the expanded notation was pure set on. The only thing they're having trouble with is the place value, like the rounding. They kind of get it, but then they forget to go back, or they forget like to put like the original numbers back, and it's like and then they forget to either add or subtract it with the rounded numbers, not just the original numbers. So it's a whole spiel. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but like I said, my kids went to Snack Shack today, so around 2:30 pretty much my whole instructional time was gone, because at 2:30 they took them to the Snack Shack, and you know, they come back and they see all the food, we start eating, and I'm like, no, you're not gonna eat Takis in here, you're not gonna eat Cheetos in here, take that home. And they're like, fine. So that's good. I got some little tooth caps. I don't know how you call these things, but a lot of my students are starting to lose their teeth, so I just got some little tooth boxes for them to put it in. So that's gonna be good. I'm gonna put that in my desk. Now, I thought I had some from last year, but I guess more students lost their teeth than I thought, and so I will just fill it in this little box for now. I am done with one. Y'all, look how much data. So what I'm currently doing is I'm going to give it to the students so they can fill in their own data, because I want them to also be able to like track their own data. But I do need to fill in the data for the BOY, for the MOY, for the EOY for 3rd grade, because they don't have that information. And then I'm also going to give them their data for their BOY. But once after I do that, I'm going to actually give it to them, like, okay, now you fill it out, I'm going to give you the results, I'm going to give you the task, and then you fill in the rest. So I'm going to get them started. So right now it's taking a while. I did 1 class out of 3, so I do need to finish the rest. All I'm going to do, like, maybe my homeroom, because they have 20 students, and then on Monday I'm just going to do the 2nd class, which has 21 students, and the rest, and that'll be done by like Tuesday, so I can give them their test back, because they know their results, because we did like small groups, so they saw what their grade is already, but they just have not put it in this yet. Now what I also will do, because I know parents are going to ask like, hey, what did you get on your test, because I do tell them on Class Dojo, hey parents, just watch out, we do have a test coming up, so make sure you're here on this day, or make sure they get enough sleep, or make sure they, you know, eat breakfast. And some of them, you know, ask the kids, oh, what did you get? And the kids are like, I don't know. So I do want to put them in their planner, and like maybe like the day that I give it to them, and so that way, like, let's say, I know it's not October, but I can put it like on top or maybe towards the bottom, and then they can have like their parent signature, so that way their parents know like, hey, this is the score that they got for their math test. And so that way, whenever we do have parent conferences, or I call the parent like, hey, you know, this is this, they're not like totally surprised, like, oh my god, what, like, I didn't know my kid failed their math test. So that way we're in constant communication, because I really want to do a good job with my data this year. And by the way, y'all, my data goals, or I should say my teacher goals for like the TTESS is due September the 12th, and I have not started. I don't even know what website to go on. I don't know what I'm gonna write. So if you guys are in Texas and you guys did your TTESS goals, or whatever that shebang is on, what was the website? Eduphoria.com, I think. Please let me know what you wrote, because I need help, and I might do ChatGPT, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Now, we did a whole PD on it, like 1 hour, but all I heard from the lady was wah, wah, wah. Like, at the 25 minutes I got it, and then after that I was like, wah, wah. Like, now I know what the kids hear, because I don't know. Honestly, that was like the perfect representation of like, if I talk too much, the kids hear wah, 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 because that's what I heard after 25 minutes of a PD that I don't remember, or I took notes, but I don't even understand what I wrote. So I'm gonna go ahead, work on this data. I'm gonna walk you around the classroom real quick. There's really not any changes except my small group area and the book area for Dear Time. The kids love Dear Time. I mean, let me rephrase that. They are loving the new books that I got for Dear Time. Now, everything's from the library, because I personally do have my own classroom library. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was a great teacher who talked about this. She's like, I think kindergarten. I watch her on YouTube here. I'll put her the YouTube name down here. But she was talking about like how she can't put any classroom books in the library because there's like this whole book thing in Texas, like, and it just went into law September 1st. So technically I cannot bring any of my classroom books because they're not logged, they're not cataloged. Parents would have to approve it. Parents have to see it to make sure that their child can read it. We have a whole book ban list. Like, let me show y'all the whole book ban list. Guys, look at this list. Hold on, ready? Oh my goodness. So this entire list, if any student brings a book from outside from home, I have to check to make sure that it's not banned, so they can actually read it for dear time or library time or anytime they pull out their book. But guys, like, even like the Lucky Bones, I even read that when I was a teenager. Like, that's crazy that something I read is no longer able to read. I mean, some of them are, yes, like racism or like Daniel X or like sex, I don't know, like, yeah, but I mean, that's a lot. So every time I do, I just do Control F and then I just look it up. But mostly the kids bring, I don't know, like Dogman books, and those are okay. And if it's like 0 out of 0, then that means it's not on the list. So it's been a little insane that I'm trying to get like picture books and chapter books, and I realize like I have so many at home, but I can't bring them because of this whole book ban thing and libraries, and it's just restrictions. And technically, like, not even every single book in the library that we have can be used. So like our librarian has to like separate those and like put them in boxes and put them away because they're not allowed to be used. So it's a whole spiel. So I'm trying to like get as many books like every 2 weeks, so that way the kids have something new to read. I'm gonna go ahead and show you around the classroom. Here's what the classroom still looks like. Again, not a lot of change just because I've been so busy with data. Now my lights did turn off just because it is currently 5 o'clock, if you guys see that. We do have a little bit of trash here that I'm going to put out my door on Monday so the custodians can take it. Now, small group time, I am going to have a volunteer tutor come in on Monday, and I think the rest of the week, I think she's going to be here 5 days a week or 3 days a week, and she's going to be here with some groups. So this one is series like mathematics star prep, and then this one is the math zinger. So I already have like 5 and 5 and then 5 and 6, and then those can be like the teacher editions, so that way everything small group is here. I have my book, I have whiteboards, I have the student task, and then I also have one for myself if I ever want to work on the math singers. I might also pull one of these as well. Whiteboard looking good. I did add some more erasers because I'm trying to get 5 to 6 students in my small group area, and then I also did add like brown and black markers as well. I also did add some pencils down there in case we ever use our math workbook. Sometimes I use the lost for words today. Sometimes I use the whiteboards, or sometimes we use the math notebooks. Still here. I'm still planning on moving, and I just don't really have time right now. Like I said, this is our newest edition, or not newest edition, but this is the most updated version of our book. We have science books down here, which I absolutely love. Definitely like picture books, but with lots of words to encourage them to read and just to spend time with it. We have my science book that was approved. We have like animal books. So they love like these types of books where there's lots of pictures, but also short passages. So I definitely want to see if I can get more of these from the library, because like I said, I can't really bring books from home. And then we do have like the old books like Dr. Dolittle and Clementine, in case some are still reading it. We have Percy Jackson, but nobody's really reading Percy Jackson, so I think I might just go ahead and take them back to the library after I check them out. These are our new books, Troublemaker, and then they're loving this one, Ranger in Time. So I think animal books are really the more way to go. This one, some of my students are saying they have like bad words because he's like a troublemaker. So we'll see. I did see that it is 4th grade, so I don't know. But whiteboard, I need to change it for Monday, but you know what? I might do that on Monday. I tend to do it on Mondays either way, like the morning of. And then pretty much everything else looks great. So it is 5:03. Now this area is my messiest area. I still haven't cleaned it, y'all. Back to school season, I love, but it's also like no time at all because you're just so busy. I've gotten lots of little cute gifts or drawings, I shall say. And then someone made this for our class, and it's just so cute and special. And I tried to declutter a bit. I need to figure out a way or find some place to put those. Y'all, my grades are suffering. Like, I definitely do not have like as much grades as I did last year. Like, I'm struggling. Like, I don't know what to give the kids because the Blue Bonnet curriculum takes up the entire hour and a half, the whole 90 minutes. Honestly, I teach for like 20 to 30 minutes, not even then. Like, I teach 20 minutes max, maybe 25. And then the rest of the time is small group because I really need to teach with small groups. I cannot teach whole group because that's just not how they learn. Like, these kids learn through small groups. Now the last thing that I want to do before I go home is I want to go ahead and sharpen all the pencils in the caddies, but I also want to go ahead and start adding more pencil erasers. And guys, do I have a lot. I am it's actually crazy, guys. Look how much I have. So these are my wedges, but then I have regular pencil toppers. Y'all, look. Oh, I'm never gonna finish. Like, I do not need any more. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is from like last year too. I never was able to finish from last year's too. So very fortunate that I have everything that I need for the students. The closet looks like this. I still have not put up the curtains. I need to do that sometime next week, but I just haven't had a chance. Yeah, I promise. For how organized I am, there's just no time. I am up on my feet teaching 100%. Like, I don't have any downtime at all. The only downtime is in the morning, during lunch, during ancillary, and after school. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm enjoying my weekend. If y'all would like to support me, I have an Amazon wish list. I also think I have like an apartment wish list that I made when I moved out. But yes, it's all down in the description. All those links, my Instagram, actually, no, I don't even have a TPT because listen, for all the things that I create, honestly, I just create them using Google Slides. Like, there is no creativity outside creativity. I tried to use Canva one time and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going back to my Google Slides. The only thing Canva is my intro. That's the only thing Canva in my entire world. Everything else, Google. I love Google. Google sponsor me. I'm just kidding. They don't sponsor anybody. All right, y'all. I'm leaving. Bye, y'all. Have a great weekend.